So this is Marcia Worrell, and I am your local Close to My Heart consultant here in Columbus, Georgia. And I just wanted to share a couple of things with you tonight. I know it's kind of late, but I know I have some late night scrappers, so I thought now would be a great time. So I wanted to start out showing you a couple of the cards that I showcased at our consultant showcase last week in Las Vegas. I had an awesome time, and I was really honored by so many consultants that stopped by my table and told me that they follow me on Facebook or on Instagram. I am truly humbled by the experience, and I love that you love my work. Because oftentimes, we never feel like we're creative enough, so it's great to get feedback. So I just want to show you a couple of my cards. We're going to start with this one. This one features our Stargazer stamp set, and you'll just see I use several pieces of our Stargazer paper along with some black cardstock, and then the Stargazer stamp set. And then I just use some of our Stargazer dots, the little red dots that you see. I'm not sure if you can see them. They are 3D. And so I use some of those to accent it as well. So that's the first one. The second one uses our rose embossing folder. Sorry, the phone keeps moving. I'm trying to keep it from falling down. This is our embossed rose embossing folder. And then it features two of our stamp sets actually for this look. And all it is a white cardstock base with a white panel that has the embossing, and then of course the colored cardstock and a little white daisy strip under it. So really super simple, cute little card. Then my third one is featuring our beautiful Friendship, one of the stamp sets from it. And it has the stamp set, and you'll see I actually did a one sheet wonder with this one. That's where the flowers came from, and eventually here I am going to do a tutorial on how quick and easy that was to create several cards just out of one sheet of cardstock. And so that's where that came from. And again, you'll see some of those dots for dimension as well. Then the next card I did was featuring one of our newer stamp sets that has the hot air balloon, and one of our oldies but goodies short and sweet has the welcome baby sentiment right here. You'll see I did a little bit of distressing around the edges and a couple of our sparkles. You'll see a little closer, and then you'll see I really didn't actually color the hot air balloon in much at all. I just colored in a few key pieces and sort of left it white. And then here you'll see I have that same embossing folder design I showed you a few minutes ago. The next one is also using that embossing folder, but this time it's simply a pewter strip of cardstock and then our red shimmer trim. It's really universal. I love it because it has the glitter and then has the sparkle and shine to it, but it's self-adhesive, so I don't have to worry about putting anything on it. So that makes it super quick and easy. So there's that one. Then this one is part of the new adventure stamp set. The world is yours to explore. And let me see if this is backwards. Hold on, let me flip this around for you. I believe it is. Let's see, can't we fix that? There we go, perfect. All right, so there we go. So the world is yours to explore. And it's really cute because this stamp was so versatile. I've probably used it on 5 or 6 different cards this year. And then I did a one sheet wonder for this background paper here, and then several layers of cards. I got a little bit of distressing, probably with pewter. I think I used pewter on this one, pewter ink. And then of course, you'll see there's some sparkles right here inside the little O's of the words. Okay, so I'll hold that one a little closer. There you go. All right. Then this one is one of my teacher appreciation cards at the end of the year. And once again, we have that rose embossing folder, so versatile. Probably one of the most well-spent sets of money I have used this year alone, was because I could use it for so many different types of cards. So of course that's the folder emboss, piece of panel that was embossed with the folder. I use the Bushel and a Peck, which was the stamp of the month not too long ago, and it says you are awesome to the core, and just use a little apple from that same stamp set with a piece of sapphire cardstock behind a little strip of white daisy. Super simple. This particular card, a big thank you. It has a little bit of sparkle as well. I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of hard to see on the sliding, but this is a die cut, the big thank you piece, the overlay, and the back literally all it is white cardstock that I took a sapphire ink pad, a Laguna ink pad, and a glacier ink pad, and just kind of wiped it across this, the piece of cardstock. And actually I did a huge 12 by 12 sheet all together, and then cut it down to the sizes I needed. Super simple. And then I literally just glued down the overlay, and that was the card. So really neat there. This is another one of our newer stamp sets that just came out. This one is really cute because it has this sort of background floral design that you can leave black and white like I did, or you can color it in. And then it has several sentiments that actually go in the middle. I just popped that one up. You can't see it too well, but it is raised. And then I used our sapphire little dots. Those I think I pulled, it's either out of the documented set or it might be out of the Stargazer. The blues are really similar. I don't remember right offhand, but that's what those are. Those are dots. I'm almost at the end with the cards. And then this one uses the yellow Stargazer. This is Thanks a Bunch, and the Central Park paper is down here at the bottom. And then just a strip of poppy, and then Thanks a Bunch is stamped in there. And that Thanks a Bunch is the same as the Thanks a Bunch I used here. So I actually used this stamp set with that same one, just without the background floral print. And then the last card is Simply Beautiful. And this is probably like one of my most favorite cards of the year. I did this one with a beautiful friendship set, I believe, as well. So it's Simply Beautiful came from. And I used the flowers. I just cut them out and popped them up on some adhesive. So it has a little bit of dimension on the card. Like I said, it's kind of hard to see. And of course, these were folded in my bag. And this one I'll actually take out and show you the inside too. But it uses a couple of different layers here. So you can see a little bit of the dimension. And then this is just the inside, and it's layered twice. It's matted with the craft as well as the bashful. And this is craft and mostly bashful on the front as well. All right, so that's it for all of the cards. Like I said, I had the cards on display, so if you were able to come by my table at the showcase, then you've seen them in person. And I actually have a few that I'm not showing tonight that were also on my table. Now, for the second part of what I want to show you is the new Story by Stacy sets. If you've not seen those, they are so cute. There are these adorable 4x4 albums. And in the kit, you get the album of your choice, and there's 3 different colors. You have the black with the white polka dots, you have a solid red color, and then you have like a stripe color that's just bright and cheerful. Now, these are designed, you can make them and keep them for yourself, or you can use these and actually create them for gifts. I'm actually going to move this down just a little bit because I'm having trouble keeping it on the table. Sorry. There we go. Okay. So with these cute little albums, I mean, they are perfect to give someone a new grad, a new parent, a grandparent that's, you know, someone's just had a baby. There's so many things you can do with it. Now, most of you that know me, you know we're a Disney family. We go to Disney quite often because we are annual pass holders. And so we don't live too far, so it's convenient for us. So I wanted something different that I could just kind of share with my folks at work or to give to my mom, that type of thing. So I decided to create a cute little mini Disney album. Now, I will tell you there are not any pictures in here. It is just the layouts and the little patterns and designs I used, but I wanted to create it so that I'd have something to show. And then also once I get the next set of pictures printed, to go ahead and put them in there. So again, this comes in 3 different colors, and inside of the kit, you also end up getting what we call like these little quote pages, and you'll see a couple of these in here. There are currently 2 different stamp sets that go along with the Story by Stacy. One has a couple of cute little quotes, one has some shapes, and you know, there's just different little patterns. And if you watch my videos regularly, or you take a look at my blog, I did show this a little more up close and personal, and actually showed which 2 stamp sets that I used for this album on that blog post. So if that's something that interests you, you may want to take a look. In my blog, for those of you who don't follow me, it's www.theuniquescrapper.blogspot.com. So it's the same, almost the same as what most of my my screen names or handles are on most of my social media. So without further ado, let me show you the album. So this is the beginning, and you'll see I simply took some of our white little dots and that red shimmer trim again, and then I used a white gel pen and wrote Disney World 2018. Inside this little kit, like I said, you get the little quote pages, you get some pages that have lines for journaling, because we know the most important part, yes, the pictures are great, but the most important part is sharing the story. You really want to remember the story part of the memory. So you do get several of those pages, and then you get just some that are white and they're blank. So I kind of used some of those, and then of course I added my own cardstock. So then this is the second page, and I'll bring it a little closer. You'll see I did a little bit of distressing in the corners with sapphire ink. This is one of those pages that has lines, and you'll see the little red dots. This is a page that would be designed for a picture. And again, it's got a little bit of matting with white cardstock with red. I think I used cranberry ink there, and then a little bit of sapphire on that second layer. These two pages would both be pictures. So one side is yellow is canary. Actually, that might, I'm sorry, that might be lemon. And then this side is sapphire, and these would both have pages. You'll notice they both have dots. This one has sapphire dots, and this one has the yellow dots from the Stargazer set. And please forgive the noise in the background. Some of my kids are still up and they're moving around the house. This is the next set. You'll see this one has that red shimmer trim again. You'll see there's a sapphire layer, and then that lemon or canary color. I think that might actually be canary. And then this one is some cranberry or poppy paper, and has the white with a little bit of distressing around the edges. That's probably pewter, and just a little strip of blue. Again, this would be for 2 pictures. And again, this album is size 4x4. So you could just put straight 4x4 photos in here with no matting, or you could trim them down slightly. Obviously, most of mine would be trimmed down slightly. So then the next set right here, this is one of those adorable quotes. It says, "Great stories happen to those who can tell them." And you'll see I tried to make a little Mickey head right here with the little tiny dots. I don't know if you can see that right there in the corner. And so it's got a couple of layers of paper. Most of the paper you'll see in this album either came from the Stargazer paperback or from Central Park, which is one of our new ones. Now, Stargazer, unfortunately, is no longer available. It did retire. However, if you have it in your stash, it blends perfectly with Central Park. So that's what's here. And then, of course, that red that you see is a little bit of distress from cranberry. And then the paper on the other side, you'll see it has some dots, and then you'll see a layer of sapphire and white daisy. Okay, then we're going to turn the page. And on this side, you'll see I made a little banner, and I made one out of sapphire and then the red shimmer trim on top. You have the white daisy with a little bit of distressing around the edges, and then, of course, that, like I said, canary behind it. And then on this one, I did something a little different. I went with a circle. And so you've got the sapphire cardstock, the yellow. Like I said, I think that actually might be lemon. I'll have to go back and look. And then you've got the red dots from the Stargazer dot pack, which is probably one of my favorite embellishments this season, were the dots. So I've stocked up on several packs. And so then you've got the circle, and the circle, I don't know if I can get it a little closer, you'll notice has lines. It's actually one of the journal's squares, and I just cut it into a circle so that it would give it just a different look, and it's distressed with the cranberry ink. So we're going to turn the page again, and this time I have the poppy paper in the back, the sapphire, the white daisy. I used one of the stamps from the Story by Stacy stamp set to list some of the things we did while we were at Disney. That's what it'll be used for. And then I just used a couple of punched out circles to make the Disney head out of sapphire. And that one, I think I may have flipped the paper over so it's the lighter color side of sapphire. Because as most of you know, our cardstock with Close to My Heart, one side is a little darker, one side is a little lighter. And they do that. That way you actually have 2 different colors, really for the price of one. You can kind of layer it and give that dimension if you want to. And so I love that about our cardstock. So then this side has a piece of pattern paper. I believe this one's from Central Park, the red in the back, and then the yellow, and then the white daisy, again, with some sapphire ink for dimension. And then we're going to turn the page, and now we have another circle. And now this side actually has a gold circle. If you've ever seen our gold foil paper, it is really pretty. That's where that gold came from, just a little white banner in the corner. You've got poppy red, you've got sapphire, and you've got some gold pearls. Now, if those of you didn't realize, we do have pearls. I just want to show you a little bit of the dimension from them. They are kind of thick. So that's what that is. And of course, a photo would go here. And on this side, I actually put a cute little adorable quote. This is one of the quotes from the Story by Stacy stamp set. It says, "The most treasured heirlooms are the sweet memories of family." Most times when I go to Disney, I usually have my kids and my husband with me. I have been by myself before. I absolutely loved it, and I did not feel guilty at all. However, the majority of the time, I have my kids with me. And so I thought that was appropriate for this little album. And so it's got the gold paper in the back. You'll see it kind of shimmer and shine. I tried to do it to match this gold circle over here. It's got the layer of poppy, the white daisy, the sapphire, and then another white circle, the white daisy circle, and it has that dimension with the sapphire ink. Okay, then next little set, I used this one. I made sure there was black cardstock on each side. This side has another little Mickey head with some of our little enamel gems. It's actually 3 of them. Let's see if I can get them a little closer. There we go. Just to make the little Mickey head, and you've got the layer of the yellow, the red, and the black. Then across from it, you've got that red shimmer trim again down here. You've got blue pattern paper. I believe this one comes from Central Park. I'm almost positive. And it has the white daisy and then the black. Turn into the page. We're getting towards the end. This is another one of those cute little squares that has the lines for journaling. And I used some of the stamps down here in the corner. Those are from Story by Stacy. The cute little circles, and if I really, really wanted to, I probably could have modified those into Mickey heads as well, but I just chose not to for this one. But behind here, you've got sapphire, you've got yellow, and you've got that poppy red cardstock. Then this one, I kept it kind of simple. It's got just yellow and red, and that cute little, like I said, makeshift Mickey head again that I made with the dots. And then the very last page of the album says the memories we've made. Again, that stamp and the little heart, I don't know if you can see it right there on the end. Those also come from the Story by Stacy stamp set, as well as this red sort of blob looking distress in the back. That is a stamp as well, which I've seen so many adorable cards that people have used that with. So you'll see some of those in the future for me as well. And then of course I just put a few little dots just randomly on the page in the red. So you've got that sapphire paper, the white daisy, and then that is actually cranberry ink as well. And that's actually stamped off. I stamped second generation stamping, where you stamp it once and then you hold on and stamp it again, so you get a lighter shade, and so that's actually what that is. So I really do hope that you enjoyed my album. Like I said, I just wanted to show it, that way you can kind of get a little more up close than the pictures that I shared on my blog. Again, these are available. It's a relatively new product. It is planned to carry on into the next year, so it should be around for a little bit. I do teach workshops and classes with this album, and I am looking at doing one of my virtual classes with this album as well, coming up here soon in the future, along with a couple of cards. So look for more information on that. My virtual classes, some of them are free, and then some of them actually will have just a fee or a purchase. You get the class free with the purchase of the products. So it just depends on what it is. I will have some class kits as well. And if there's a class kit, like I said, then there'll be a virtual classroom class that'll go with it. And that'll either be a Facebook Live, so we're working on it together. And then if you're not available at that time, you can always go back and watch it as many times as you want to. Or it'll have a video that I've actually pre-recorded that'll be provided as well. But those will be in the virtual classrooms. And like I said, please look for more information about that. I'm so excited about doing these, because while I do videos pretty often, this is a new format that I want to try, and I think most of my customers will be happy with it. So I hope that you found this helpful. If you had any questions at all, please feel free to leave them in the comments below or send me a message at any time. I am going to go ahead and end the video. That way I can start working on some more cards to post for later while I have some time. But thank you so much for joining me. And for those that you popped in, it was great to see you. And for those of you that didn't have a chance, like I said, feel free to leave me a message below and I'll get back with you. Thanks so much. Have a good night. Bye.